Let's do let's do no way. No way. We gotta keep it chill. Volt, yo, my guy, what's going on, dude? Appreciate you joining in. First one in. How you doing? Welcome in, my guy. What you been studying? What you been working on? Let's get the Twitch going. All right. Cool, cool, cool. All right, y'all. Feeling good, feeling good. Glad to be here today. Hope you're having a good day today. Let's go ahead and jump on into our project again. Back into Birdie Roast Close, building the front end. Hopefully we can add some more features today and have a nice little coding sesh. All right, let's go ahead and get into this one. All right, cool. Okay, let's go ahead and cd client, cd brc react app, npm run dev on this. Let's open this bad boy up. Right window. Let's throw in this guy. Some stinks. I think the cat farted. What the cat doing? Okay, we're in there. Now let's go into a new terminal session. Let's go cd server, cd app. We want to run crap. Oh, I'm not in my virtual environment. That would be why. Let me open up a Python file, and now do this. It'll do it automatically. There you go. Now it has to be into. Cool. There they are. There they are. Cool. All right, we're back. Yo, yo, yo. How's it going, Volt? How do you keep yourself up and motivated so much? Honestly, dude, I'm just pretty, I try my best to keep it pretty relaxed and chill, but I'm honestly a pretty anxious guy. And so I gotta just keep myself moving, or else I start to think too much, and then, nothing good happens from there. So, but yeah, I gotta just pretty much keeping myself moving it's just kind of good for me. And I've kind of gotten into the habit of it so far. Cool. Hey, Huss, how's it going? What type of business do you want to do? Yeah, we're building a front end for our business site here where we resell vintage clothes to then be sourced and feed us into our Depop where we can actually do the checkout. So pretty cool. Yeah, pretty nice. I'm liking it so far. So there's a couple of things I want to do today. I would like to work on the caption, and I would like to work on the tape. Yeah, so if we go into our project here, here's our product card. Okay. So our tape is here, and we're using a tape 3 from an asset import. So what we could do is we could have all these assets here. And we can do this. Const tapes. I'm pretty bad at JavaScript, so let me know if I'm doing something wrong here. Const tapes equals to, well, why is that like that? Why is it doing that? You don't want to do it in the inside the return. You do it out here. Yeah. Okay. So const tapes is going to be equal to an array of, we'll say, tape 1, tape 2, and tape 3, right? And then what we're going to do is we have a function, def, or how do you say this, function, how do you define functions in JavaScript? I'm so trash at JavaScript. I don't want a component. So this is a function here. So you say const function name is equal to no parameters and outputs this and does this. Is that what it means? So if we say const, is it const, or how do you define a, how do you define a function in JavaScript for like basic logic React? Oh, wait. Yeah. Okay, so we just have function, right? And we're gonna have brand tape, and we're going to take in. Wait, that's how you do it. Function rand tape. We're going to take in nothing. Now we're going to output return So we'll say n is equal to, or say const n is equal to the length, or is it tapes dot length, right? And then we say return math dot random. How would we do this? Math.random. So this just gives you a float between 0 and 1, right? But times, okay, math.random. So you do this thing, math.floor, math.random times the n less than 1 and 0 plus 0 So I'll say actually yeah, so then that'll return a value. And then what we're going to do is go into here and do tapes index of the return of rand tape. Oh boy. Look at us trying to write JavaScript. We're doomed. Tapes.length is not a function. Okay. Length what is this length JavaScript? Array.length. Isn't it tapes? It's a property, not a function. Oh, okay. So it's not call. It's just not call. It's just a property. Like, okay. Math.random between 0, 1, or 2. We're getting all the same values here. How do you do it? Random by n, because your random possible will go inside of n. math.for random by n. Okay, so now we're getting random tapes. Look at that. Nice. Wow, look at that. Okay, so let's instead go like this. Let's create, inside of our assets, we're gonna go new folder, tapes. We'll say rename Polaroid tapes. We'll say Polaroid tape, yeah, tapes, whatever. And then we're going to take all these tapes and put them in the Polaroid tapes. Assets slash Polaroid tapes slash can I say import all? So how can you have it load from a file from directory? Like I know in Python we know how to. So importing a static asset from served. Importing all assets at once into file. Invite webpack, etc. So this says function import all, given r, keys map r images dot slash assets. I don't know. Maybe it's not super crazy, so let's go here and go tape slash tape1.png, and then we'll copy this down here. Tape 2, tape 3. Okay, cool. So you get like a new random tape every single time, which is kind of neat. Nice. I like that. That's pretty cool. All right. Let's work on the caption, right? So let's do this. Let's go to, we're on product card here. All right, let's go ahead and push this up. All right. So git add. Let's go ahead and say random. We add random tape. Okay. Now let's go ahead and work on the caption here. Okay, and then let's do this. Okay, so here we go. Caption Polaroid is here. Let's open up this div. It's going to be here, caption. Okay, so here's our caption. It's within this div here. We have our text here, which is our prop title, and then we have gotcha. Next column. Okay, let me open up a let me copy this down. We're gonna make this a H1. Right. Maybe an H2. And then what we'll do is actually get rid of, I don't need that. Go down here, make this an H3. Go prop stop brand below. Okay, so then we're going to go into our product grid, pass in brand equals to product.brand. Okay. Now let me go border here. Okay. So this is going to be right, it's going to be fit. Contents, no. Full. Okay, so then we say test brand. Text. Small. Extra small. Okay. So I'm going to put the brand actually above the title. Okay. So if there is no brand, what happened to our sizes over here? Oh, they don't have sizes, I don't think. So let's go to our database really quick. Let's put some stuff in here. Send value T, size, medium. We'll say brand. Size, large, brand, test, brand. Size, small, extra small, brand, test brand. size, extra extra large, we'll say, brand, test brand, size, extra small, brand, test brand. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna give some a little bit finer padding on the X, maybe a 4, 5. Maybe I guess, I don't know, maybe 2 is fine. I kind of like 1 though, actually, because it's kind of in line with this here, which is kind of nice. The sparkle top's got some spacing because extra small is pushing that. So we don't want to say justify no, not here. Here where the price and the size, this is text right, we're going to justify around. No. So if I have this, I wonder, how can you make this so the size when becoming like XXL doesn't push the centered price? Because the flex grow is on the right, on the price. Okay, so you say relative flex width full items center. And then for the first paragraph, the price, you say absolute left 1/2 dash translate x 1/2 text center. And then for this, he gives you ml-auto text right. What is this? Margin left auto. Relatives on the parent allows absolute positioning of the children. The price is absolutely centered, and the size floats naturally to the right with ml-auto. No matter how wide this gets, your price stays perfectly centered. Ah, okay, that's nice. So I do have to go to the AI for some styling stuff that I didn't know that. So that makes sense because we want them to be in line with one another, but kind of be dynamic. So we can use the relative and then absolute to say this one's the one that's kind of like the absolute, like the anchor, and then this one gets pushed all the way to the right, and then the margin left is auto. Interesting. So let's say extra text is smaller. Brand. So what if we say this is not H3, but rather a small? And then what happens if you remove the class name? Okay, that's just how it is there. I'm gonna say small, class name, padding 0, margin 0. So the small is pushing fit to the content. Height, screen mix, it's 0. It was all the way there. But padding Y 0 doesn't do anything. Flex column. Why is there padding? Even though you said Tailwind isn't adding padding here, it's like you're seeing as default browser setting in the H1 paragraph elements. Margin 0, all of those. Margin 0. That didn't do it. Nope. What the heck? What if I just use divs here for these? Yo, Tim! How's it going? Mr. Tim. Huh, I don't really get it. Why is it... Line leading none. There we go. There we go. I'm leading none here. Okay, and then we say here, justify between no even. So if we say gap is 2. Okay. So brand needs to have its own div. Oh. There we go. Text small. So why does that push? There we go. What if we put leading none? There we go. Remove this. Let's border. Huh. How to center the div, the text in here. I did that. Yeah. Vertical. Oh, the parent container. Oh, okay. There we go. So now let me make this text. Oop. Not bad. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? Padding in the X direction will do 2, 4. Let's see if I can try to line up that exactly. That looks pretty good. 4 point. That's even better. Right there. I don't know. I like the 2. Or the 1, I mean. Okay, cool. So now we have a caption. And that, nice. So then should we do a custom font here? Or we'll do on the brand, we're gonna do font italic. Italic. That's fine. All right, that looks a lot better. What do you guys think? Is the demo live? Oh, no demo. What's up, Gustav? Haven't tapped in for a while on your stream. Did not realize you have come to this far. Yeah, we've been coming pretty far here. We've been learning React, Tailwind, and like building live stuff here. I've been even programming at work. So for those that don't know, I did a pitch at my work to allow me to program to attempt to automate and formulate a chemical matrix automation tool to basically optimize and give us the least amount of serum spread used across a blend to hit a suite of theoretical concentration ranges, which is a lot of words, but it's a big chunk of my work. And I actually have a lot of news. I was successful today in implementing a 2-step algorithm where you compute one matrix level, stop, reevaluate the serums, and then compute the next matrix level, but within one linear programming problem. But then also I implemented another algorithm, a single step approach to where it will combine all these constraints across both levels from the constraints of being within their applicable analyte ranges, and then the course, and also a constraints of not going in the negative of their volume constraints, and computing a linear programming model across the entire both levels at the same time to produce a minimization. And I was successful in that as well. So I kind of have a working proof of concept. And so I met with my kind of program mentor guy today. And he suggested that we start to clean up the code a little bit in terms of like getting a more user-friendly output and put together basically a kind of a proof of concept presentation with a couple of different data points to show that this is feasible, and with some statistics to show like what kind of savings we have and can project. And so that's going to be my next goal of the next couple days, is kind of putting together a little bit of a presentation and a little demo, given a couple lots of data, and see if we can really put this to the test. And yeah, it'll be kind of cool. I'm pretty excited. I'm pretty stoked about it. What do you guys Mike, front runner for employee of the year, dude? I'm hoping maybe we like, if we can save upwards of like per run, if we can save like, $10,000+ of raw material per run, and we do runs at least in one product line like 3 times a year, and then if we do that's in just one product out of our suite that uses this tool, that could use this tool, but then there's probably like 3 or 4 that use this tool, and those get billed once or twice a year themselves. So this could save, if it saves like 10,000 a run and in raw material optimization, then we could like basically like it's optimizing the minimization of the blend to a lower amount of blend to hit the values, right? And so it's just minimizing it to the point which projects it was a lot of savings of material use than what we've been using in the past. I'm projecting almost like a 15 to 20% reduction in optimization. So, which is kind of substantial considering that these materials are biological and they're very expensive. So this, if it saves like 10 or so, $15,000 a run, and we do, 10 runs a year, well, that's an extra, a salary count that we can, free up for extra head count, which is pretty crazy. Maybe 2, like 2 juniors, right? So, or like a one maybe like really, really experienced person, but probably like 2 juniors, like 1.5. So in Bay Area, probably like 1.5, give or take. Cool. That looks cool so far. I'm really liking this. This looks awesome. This looks really good so far. I'm liking this a lot. Okay, those were my goals, were to get this kind of brand, title. What other kind of information do we maybe want to include on here? We have a little bit more space. Maybe we could put something over here, but it looks very, very clean right now. And that is my goal. Now we can always change the font, but it looks really, really clean, which is really nice. So should we add in any more information? Maybe we should add in, should we throw on our internal ID number on here as like a quick visual? Right, we could throw that over here, but I mean that we might want to include that. Maybe condition, but you can kind of tell by the pictures, right? And then you obviously will click on the listing and you can see, conditions and stuff here, right? Oh, that's right. We need to compute if this is on sale or not. If it's on sale, I think I want to give it a little like on sale flare in the top right corner, kind of like a little badge, on sale badge, and then provide the price that it was before with a strike through, and then the new price, right? So if final price key is discounted price, right? If the final price key, if pricing final price key is discounted, then we want to apply a style. Okay. What you guys been working on? Anybody out there? What you guys have been, Tim, what you been doing, dude? I saw this stat that said like 70,000 millionaires were made in crypto over 2020 or in the past year. Isn't that crazy? Man, we had 70,000. One could have been us, but we didn't buy in earlier. It's my own fault, dude. I've been the anti-crypto guy for like years and years now. Being nah. Not that I don't believe in it really, but I just don't have reason to believe in it at the moment. Other than just obviously the price going up, but I don't know. But it's interesting now that I've learned more about computer science, right, and what it actually is, and I learned more about some cryptography by watching some like computer file videos and stuff. We should watch some of those. I love his videos. But let's go ahead and add a couple more picture assets, or some more tape assets to our database here, and we'll probably kind of close it for today at that. Oh, I think it was, we need to open Illustrator as well. Right. And we need to open up this guy. Let me take, we have this one. Let's do this. Which ones do we have? This one is this guy. This one is this guy. And this one is this guy. So let's take like all of these. So we're gonna take this and the Photoshop, paste it. Increase the size a little bit. Center that up. Done. Image, trim. Okay. File, export as PNG. Export. Desktop, tape. You go repos, 30 rows close, client, public, source, features, products, assets, Polaroid tapes, save, tape 4. Okay, now let's go delete, new, okay, let's go here, let's take, I kind of want to do this one, right, I kind of want to do this one, we'll try it out. Photoshop, paste, okay, zoom it in a little bit, maybe a little bit less because this one's a little bit bigger. There, done, image, trim, okay, file, export, as, Okay. Tape. 5. File. New. 500. Here. Don't save. Here. Let's do one more. Let's take. I like this little guy. I think it's kind of fun. Like a little. It's a little stick. Make this bigger. Right there. Done. Image. Trim. Okay. File. Export as. Okay. Tape 6. Okay, let's exit. Don't save. Exit. Don't save. Let's go ahead and go here. Bring this back. Here. Refresh. Let's import more of these guys. Tape 4, 5, and 6. Tape 4, 5, 6. And then we'll add these to our array. 4, tape 5, tape 6. Oh boy. Okay, so tape 6 is bad. Tape 5 is bad too. All the other ones seem fine. Nice. I'm doing some homework for my master's class. I'm taking data science essentials and algos. Nice, dude. Is that using the CLRS book? That's pretty cool, my dude. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this. So we have a Polaroid here, and we have the whole thing in the tape. Okay, and then this is, tape is outside, and this is the div that has everything in it, right here. Now this div just has the tape. This is the div that has everything in it. Okay, so in this div, on top of the tape, we're going to write a comment here and do we're going to do on sale stamp, right? Okay, and then let's do a div container. We'll give a class name, absolute. I'm going to write some words in here of hello, absolute, or not absolute, yeah. No. Okay. So we want to put this on the right, so we'd have to say right full. That's right. There you go. Okay. Hey, how's it going, Jose? Welcome back, dude. How you doing? If you guys aren't following our, appreciate it if you would. You guys leave a like on the stream. Thank you guys so much for being here. A little bit of a quieter stream today. People must be busy. Okay, so I'm going to have a we're going to have this be JavaScript, right? So JavaScript here. Right. And then what I'm going to say is $, props dot props dot pricing so we're going to pass in props dot if props dot so price key equals to quote discounted price. Yeah, discounted price. Then we're going to show else invisible. So we're going to say, now we're going to pass in here, price key equals to product dot pricing final price key. Oh, we have it here. So now, if I refresh this, only this guy has it because this guy has a discounted price. Perfect. These ones are original price. Nice. Now what we're going to do is if I say product card is I'm going to use the same note that we're using. Oh. I'm going to say image, and we'll have to give the source as the note. Right. Okay, interesting. Okay, so then let's not do that. Let's just say on sale. Right. And then this div is also going to rotate 45, 30, 25. We're just going to say sale. So if and price keys and sold is false, right, equals to this, and props dot sold equals to false. Yeah, there we go. What does double ampersand do? Okay, so then is it double ampersand? So then if I pass into here, if I say this is not sold, I say that this is sold is false here. There it comes back up. Okay, cool. Now if I delete this, it still works. Is this the right way to do it then? Okay, so then if you go like this, let's see what kind of design ideas it has. So Z20, right 0, rotate 25. We'll say 30 degrees. background red. 600. Bold. One. Cute. Cute. I like that a lot. Let me make the font text is large. Let's make the div okay, so hold on, if I go here, I go border. Okay, so if I say padding margin, say 6. But then if you make the on sale stamp, how can we make it so that it's up to right? Up? Is there an up? No. Top. There we go. Now let's make the we'll say padding left. Let's just remove that. Okay, so then if I go to here, let me lower in the product grid, let me lower the gap. Let's say it's 6. And then let's do product card. Let's put a padding left here of 4, padding right of 4, and then right. We'll say padding bottom of 4, right, and then rotate this 20 degrees. 25 degrees. 22 degrees. And then let's make the font 22 pixels. Like that. Now, if I made it padding 4 across the entire thing, I like that, but then that gets pushed out too high. So then how can I make the tape top, let's say it's negative 15 pixels down. No, let's say 12. So the thin one. Let's try to get the thin one. There it is. No. So then I'm gonna also do a different rotation, just do just 1 degree. 5 degrees. 1 degrees. Perfect. And then let's bring this down to like 8. Six. 4. There we go. Now let's get rid of this border. Nice. Beautiful. I'm happy with that. Now let's make this rounded 100. How to make a circle? Oh, full. How do you make a circle? Rounded full, text 16 pixels. No, 22 pixels, rounded full. Wait, 16, height 16, okay. Justify an item center as well as flex. There we go. I like this circle a lot more. Sail! That looks awesome. Okay. So then what we're going to do is if you have a sale, so in here, this is price. We're going to add in another one of these and make this or no, we'll do this, and then I'm going to add in a div for this price, and then a div for the sale price. And we're going to make these Beautiful. And then I'm going to give this one a class name, text.strike. Text.strike. Line through. Beautiful. And then what we're going to do is say we're going to write some JavaScript here. And what we'll say is props.sold, props dot similar to what we had above. So the price key is discounted price, and sold is it's not sold. Then we're gonna do it, right? Beautiful. But the thing, we're having a little bit of issue with that, so let's go here. I see what you're trying to show original prices and show the current price next to it. So this says flex column, justify center, height, text small, text center, italics, relative, flex, item center, absolute, items.center, text center. Beautiful. There we go. We want it block and hidden. Nice. Awesome. Cool. I didn't do too bad on that one. Got it. You want to keep using one. Yeah. So then this is going to be not props.price. This is going to be props. So maybe what we should do is into the product grid, let's pass in, we have final price key, so const OG price is equal to product.pricing dot original price dot amount. Right? And then we pass in OG price. Oh, is that right? And then we can save into here props dot. What's up with that hover? Have to fix that. Looks good, Slow. You like it? Yeah, I think it looks really good too. I like it a lot. I like it a lot here. So the thing is that's interesting. Round function. How do you round to 2 decimal places? Two fixed. Nice. Oh, right there. I was using it already. Yo, Anon, congrats, dude. Let's get some cheers up in chat for Anon. Anon's making the big bucks now. Leveled up. He skipped us. Congrats, my guy. You earned it. Hard work pays off, my dude. Congrats, congrats, congrats. When's your start date? That's awesome. You got to move or anything, or is it all remote? Okay, so let's do... we just need to fix this hover. Right, because right now we have hover, group, and the hover is being included on this pad. So I have a hover scale increase for a div that has some pad, and it's filling the big background. Do you have a div with padding and a background color within the div? I don't have a background color. I have a shadow. really works. It's remote for the first year, then I'll have to move to a different city. I start October 6th, just got done with the documentation. The people are awesome, the work trial was amazing as well. Got to solve some bugs and was able to impress some engineers. Oh, nice. What kind of stuff did you work on? That's right, you had that work trial. Were you stressing? Was it like, nervous? Yes. So we need to just go like this then. We need to create a div, right? And then take this div and put it into here. Close, and in here do class name. Why is that happening? Why is the hover? Let me do this. Let's try this. Maybe do hover BG transparent. Why is that filling? I don't get it. Why do we have this? So if we hover over this. Can we do I get it. I got rid of the pad. Now we'll hover. If I add some pad, it has this weird artifact that occurs behind it. Anyone know what's going on? give it all of it, I guess, whatever. The main div has the scale background issue. Div with the hard. Okay, so then if we put here a div container, open this up, do class name, is all of these, right? All of those. And then you put on overflow hidden. I hate how it does this. Just wrap the text, so annoying. Rounded, justify items under bold, flex. Relative cursor pointer, for transitional duration. Okay. And then we have an inner card here. This is the on sale stamp. This is this div. This gets class name padding 4, right? And then we're gonna take this div, put it inside of here. No. Why is that happening? No. No, doesn't work either. No. No, I don't know how to do this. Hover skill is by the outer div that wraps the padded inner div. The outer div has no explicit size. Outer div hover skill shadow inner div. Relative cursor pointer transform transverse alteration. Hover skill hover shadow. Large hover shadow black 50. Inner card padding 4. I don't even know, dude. Why is our div filling with color here of a gradient? It looks like similar to the same as the card. Okay, so the card is getting this Polaroid from white to neutral. Shadow border relative. I don't know. Having some issues with the padding 4 on the hover being filled by the gray to white card gradient. It's a wrapper div that contains the actual Polaroid card. When you hover, the scale transformation scales the card inside that padding, which usually makes the gradient is covering the padding, because instead of adding padding 4 to the outer wrapper, move the padding to the card itself. What? Use overflow visible. On this. No. Oh my god. Go back. That crap. I really don't know. Okay, then let me do this. Instead of adding the padding here, let me add the padding here. No. Add 4. It does what we want. But we don't want this hovering. Is it a Z index thing? I don't know what it would be. So you have the Polaroid image, which is in the Polaroid itself, and the tape is on top of the Polaroid. You have the tape. I don't know, because the border, if I put the border on, it's here. Right, if I do background fill, background black, that fills that background. Now if I do background transparent, is that? Oh, I don't think it's that. I think it's our shadow. We want the shadow to be applied, the hover effect to be applied to the card. Yeah. Relative border, cursor, pointer, transform, transition, no. Take this and remove this, do this here, take this out, go to my Polaroid, no, but I want the entire thing to scale. I want the entire thing to scale. That's right, I want the entire thing to scale. But I want the shadow to take place on from behind the Polaroid. What's my error here? There we go. right? So then what we can do is remove the border. Yes! Right, so we were applying the hover shadow to the padded area. It was fairly easy. We don't want to apply it to the padded scale of the entire card. We want to apply it just to that border of the card itself, not the padded areas to include, right? We want to scale everything, the tape, the sale sticker, all that, but we don't want to, okay, got you, cool. Now let me go to my tapes really quick. I'm going to try to reduce the size of the tape a little bit. So I'll say scale. Let's go 0.9. What do I go? 0.8. 5. What about the skinny one? That looks good. Let's go 0.9. Nice. That looks really good. What do you guys think? You guys happy with that? How do we feel? How we feel? All right, there it is. There it is. Whew. Okay, what we did today, we added in this sale little, stamp or whatever. I think it would be cool if we maybe made our own, like we did with the for sale sign, right? Let's make one of these sold. Let's go to the database. Let's make this guy sold. Right. So it would be cool to have this be kind of like a similar kind of a real world asset like our paper thing is. So I'm going to change this. This was just a rough copy. I'm going to change this to have like a piece of gum that makes it look like it's like sticking to this. So I'll take a picture of this and actually chew up a piece of gum and stick it on there and whatever. And then I'll have my girlfriend write sold in nice cute handwriting and it'll look good and in Sharpie. And then here we can have the same thing, kind of like a little sale, little piece of paper or a little sticker or something, like a real world sale sticker. Or we could find a couple different sale stickers and put them in a list and randomly choose one like we're doing here, right? Like we're doing for the tapes. So today what we did is we added that sale insignia. We added in the randomization to the tape assets. We also added in some padding to allow for that sticker into the top right, and then fixed the hover effect that took place for sold items, or for unsold items. And then we also fixed and added the implementation for. I'm gonna go to the product. Let me go to the product card here, and where we have the size. Caption, product size here, text right. I'm going to call the padding X to 1.5 pixels. I'm going to do 2 pixels. 3, 4, 5, 4, 4. There we go. Or 5 pixels. 4 pixels. So it's a little bit more in line with this kind of bar. I think it just gives a little bit more visual appeal to kind of be centered into this bar for single letters. Just kind of gives it more of that visual attention, that visual appeal. It takes away that tension because that's kind of like something that stuck with me in my graphic design class in high school, is that there is such thing as visual tension, and if you have like things that aren't lining up properly, or like just little kind of misalignments, you know, artifacts. It creates all these this visual tension, and your eyes can definitely tell, and like it just gives you like an overall feeling as a user of not wanting to use your products. Like there's a lot of like psychological you know, interaction with graphic design and stuff to make sure things are, you know, pretty in a way, and flow nicely from left to right in like way people read, so that it's just it makes it more enticing for a user. I'm not. It's just a bunch of stuff. Let's go ahead and add in. What if we threw a shadow on the sales sticker? So let me grab a shadow on the sales stamp. Let's go shadow 2XL. Shadow black. Shadow large. Medium. And let's make it maybe a little bit more let's give it a little bit more well, let me click on the value. There we go. Cool. Something like that. Or maybe I'll just take this same shadow here. Keep it consistent. Yeah. It's like a little shadow. Kind of give it some flair. Nice. Okay, so that was, let's go here. Add sales stamp and fix hover pad. Cool. It's coming along nicely. I know we're kind of going pretty slow on this, you guys, but honestly, like, we have something kind of pretty original going on here, where like we have something very, very custom. Like, it's very, very like custom and artsy, and I feel that it'll pay off in the long run, because we'll be able to really stand out from our competitors and from like typical React apps that are fairly just basic grids and boxes and whatever. Whereas here we're really like layering together many assets, using absolute and relative space and Z indexes to kind of create these kind of more dynamic product cards that really have some actual real world feel to them. So I really think that could help just translate into more sales and get more eyeballs on our site for sure, if anything. What do you guys think? But I think we're going to wrap it up here today. We streamed for 2 hours today, working on the product cards, getting that all sorted and situated. So right off the bat, I think what I need to do is I need to take this tape and make it thicker. It's just too thin. I need to probably create like a universal size average of the tapes, or in terms of thickness, to kind of keep it uniform. But in terms of today, we did this insignia. I don't like how that is just, it's a little too light. I kind of like how dark that was. Oh, that's the Polaroid shadow. Whoops. It's this guy. Yeah, that's a little bit better, for sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, so we did the sail insignia, we did hover effects, we did the Polaroid label, or the caption with the size, got that better situated. That padding on that size is still a little bit off, in my opinion. I think we need to go to 5. Caption padding X is 5. There we go. Yeah, I think 5. Yeah. Now that I'm looking at it more. Cool. Let's go ahead and take a screenshot, and I'll send this over to my lady friend and see what she thinks. You guys aren't in the Discord, make sure you guys are in the Discord, link down below. Nice. All right, you guys. Thanks so much for being here. Make sure you guys join the Discord and chat with me. I'll be in there tonight. I'll see you guys tomorrow where we'll continue on learning Python, React, Tailwind, programming, and computer science. We're building a full stack site using React and Tailwind and Python as our backend to basically be a centralized hub for our business, Birdie Roast Clothes, to then send people to our Depop to do the purchase and checkout of said items. We currently have a script that's currently parsing our Depop page to gather all the information and sync it to our database and make sure all of our data stays updated with Depop information. So thank you guys so much for being here today. We'll continue on in the next one. This was really awesome. I had a lot of fun. This was a super, super productive stream. Thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys. Make sure you sub. Peace out.